More World War II items soldiers were banned from carrying are, well, still forbidden today. World War II soldiers followed orders, but they were still human. No matter how many rules came from command, men on the front lines carried what they thought they needed to survive: a charm from home, a trinket of hope, or a piece of comfort in a world gone mad. Even though many of these items were officially banned, soldiers smuggled them in anyway. Some were harmless, others risked disaster, and strangely, many of those same restrictions remain in place in modern militaries today. Let's uncover more things World War II soldiers were forbidden to carry, but often did, and why those bans still linger across battlefields worldwide. Hidden radios and listening devices. Silence meant survival, yet many soldiers longed for the sound of home, a familiar song, a voice, a scrap of news. Small radios, however, were banned across most fronts. Even weak signals could be intercepted or traced, leading artillery straight to a unit's location. Still, soldiers built improvised foxhole radios out of wire, razor blades, and scavenged parts, listening in secret after nightfall. It was comfort, but it could also be a death sentence. Today's rules remain just as strict. Unauthorized transmitters, Bluetooth gear, and personal electronics are banned in combat zones for the same reason. They can give you away before you ever see the enemy. Family heirlooms and priceless keepsakes. Commanders urge troops to leave sentimental or valuable items behind: watches, wedding rings, family Bibles, anything irreplaceable. But soldiers carried them anyway. When you're staring down chaos, a small piece of home feels like protection. Unfortunately, those keepsakes often became painful symbols of loss. Families sometimes received a blood-stained watch or dented locket instead of a letter. The lesson stuck. Modern militaries still warn service members not to take anything they can't afford to lose. War spares nothing delicate, not even the things we love most. Pets and mascots. If there was one rule soldiers gleefully broke, it was the ban on animals. Stray dogs, cats, pigeons, monkeys, even bears were adopted as mascots. They boosted morale, fetched food, and guarded camps. But they also made noise, spread disease, and could reveal positions. Still, soldiers refused to part with them. From Poland's Bear Wojtek, who carried ammunition at Monte Cassino, to countless nameless dogs in foxholes, mascots offered warmth in a frozen world. The rule still stands today: no pets in combat zones, but the bond between soldier and animal endures. Civilian clothing and disguises. A uniform made you a soldier, but civilian clothing, well, that made you a spy. If you were captured out of uniform, you could be, executed on the spot under wartime law. For that reason, carrying civilian garments was strictly forbidden. And yet, some soldiers quietly held on to civilian coats, scarves, or hats, for warmth, disguise, or maybe just a reminder of home. A few even used them for infiltration missions. Today, unauthorized clothing in combat zones can still lead to punishment. The rule hasn't changed, just the camouflage pattern. Unauthorized maps and sketches. Maps were power, and potential catastrophe, really. Soldiers were never allowed to carry personal or unofficial maps, especially those hand-drawn ones showing trenches, supply routes, or strongholds. If captured, they could hand the enemy your entire position. Still, soldiers made them. Crude pencil sketches tucked in helmets or boots helped them navigate when official charts were outdated or missing. After several disastrous leaks, the ban became ironclad. Even now, personal mapping apps, GPS logs, and digital notes are restricted in many militaries. The modern echo of a World War II rule born from blood and caution. Enemy propaganda and souvenir leaflets. Propaganda leaflets rained from the skies. Promises of safety, surrender, or taunts against the enemy. Commanders ordered troops to burn them immediately. Reading them risked doubt. Keeping them risked punishment. But, curiosity was stronger than orders. Many soldiers secretly collected them as souvenirs, slipping them into journals and ration tins. Those flimsy scraps of paper still survive in archives today. Relics of the quiet psychological war fought in every foxhole. The ban persists. Modern troops are warned never to retain or share enemy propaganda, no matter how interesting it seems. Jewelry and reflective trinkets. Even a glint of metal could draw a sniper's eye. Rings, watches, and polished badges were officially banned or dulled with soot. Yet, soldiers clung to them. A ring from a sweetheart, a medal from home, a tiny link to identity. Commanders' fears were justified. Many were spotted and shot because of something as small as a reflection. Today's combat uniforms use matte finishes and subdued insignia for the same reason. A little shine can still mean sudden death. Private diaries and written notes. Commanders discouraged keeping personal journals or letters with tactical details. If captured, they could expose morale, movement, and strategy. Yet, soldiers continued to write. It was therapy, confession, survival. Those secret notebooks, hidden in socks, helmets, or ration tins, are now treasured pieces of history. They reveal what official reports never could: fear, humor, faith, and regret. The ban remains, though softer now. Modern soldiers are warned not to record sensitive details, but many still jot thoughts between the chaos. Some rules will always be broken, because they're what make us human. WWII wasn't just a war of weapons. It was a war of what men chose to carry when nobody was watching. Radios, rings, pets, and diaries, each a small rebellion against the machinery of war. Commanders banned them for safety, secrecy, and sanity, but soldiers carried them anyway because they carried meaning. Decades later, the technology has changed, but the spirit hasn't. From smartphones to sentimental patches, today's troops still fight the same quiet battle between regulation and humanity. Because in every war, the things you're told not to carry often reveal what you're really fighting for.